A News Channel 5 investigation is raising questions about how millions of your tax dollars have been spent.
And that money was supposed to be used to open several new early Head Start centers here in Middle Tennessee to help at-risk children. But now, a year and a half after that project was announced, consumer investigator Jennifer Krause found half of the centers still haven't opened. Jennifer, what's going on here?
That's what a lot of people are asking. Now, Early Head Start is a year-round federally funded program for kids from birth through 3 years of age. The plan here was to help more of these kids, but that hasn't exactly happened yet. Just across the street from where these young kids live sits what is supposed to be one of 2 new Early Head Start centers in Maury County. It's filled with toys and supplies. There are teachers and staff here too. The only thing missing is children.
I'm like, yeah, y'all need to open up.
Heather Luttrell and her neighbor Katie Benefield both signed their kids up for the program.
That was a long time ago.
Benefield says it was more than a year ago, yet they are still waiting for the federally funded Child Care and Education Center to open.
They said August of 2015.
That was the plan.
The man in charge admits they're way behind schedule.
There's many obstacles that we had to overcome in order to get the centers up and running.
The South Central Human Resource Agency received nearly $4 million from the federal government to expand its Early Head Start program, to add classrooms at its existing centers in Shelbyville and Pulaski, and open 4 new centers in Mount Pleasant, Columbia, Manchester, and Fayetteville. And they told the feds they'd have them all open by August of 2015. But now, nearly a year later, not only is the Mount Pleasant Center still not opened, but neither is the facility in Columbia, nor the one in Manchester. But our investigation found that all 3 of these centers have been fully or nearly fully staffed since late last summer. They hired teachers, social workers, site managers, and cooks, and they all have been paid ever since, even though not a single child has attended classes at any of these centers.
And I'll just go ahead and say we were overzealous and optimistic about when we thought we would be able to get our new facilities up and running.
You thought 6 months.
We did.
Lori Hopper is the Early Head Start program director, and she says the centers needed renovation and electrical work, fences, sprinklers, decks, and ramps. But instead of hiring outside help, they relied on their own maintenance workers to take care of most of the work, on top of what they were already doing at some 25 other facilities across 13 counties. SCHRA now admits that slowed things way down.
And yet you keep hiring people.
Yes, because it's sort of the strike while the iron is hot situation.
And they don't even acknowledge that there's a problem with that.
Justin Owen, president of the Beacon Center, says that's just not the way to do business.
Only government would think it's appropriate to hire people to sit around for a year before they actually take a job and start doing what they were hired to do.
But I think we can do things better, yes ma'am, but there was nothing malicious done on behalf of my staff.
Paul Rawson is the executive director of SCHRA, though he started in March of this year, after most of the employees had already been hired. But to the people who are watching this at home, and they see that you hired all of these people who have been paid for months at a time.
It wasn't that they were just sitting around doing nothing.
Yet that's exactly what some former employees told us they did. But Rawson insists the employees have spent the last year training, job shadowing, and recruiting children for the new centers.
You might need a couple of weeks to train someone to do this job, but a full year when you're still not serving children is a long time, and it's a lot of taxpayer money.
You don't see anything wrong with spending all of this money and not having had these kids in your classroom?
It's a few months difference. Yes, would like to saw that occur, of course.
But Rawson isn't overly concerned by the year-long delay, and neither, he says, are the feds. Although the original grant application said programs would be expected to begin providing services soon after receiving money, federal assessments don't start until 18 months later.
I mean, it's like this. They give you 18 months to get the project up and going.
So saying that we're going to start monitoring you in 18 months doesn't mean that you can just sit around on your laurels for 18 months and do nothing. But taxpayers should be outraged because this is money designed to help kids that is not helping kids.
Like those kids in Mount Pleasant, whose moms just wish the center would open. What are they telling you?
That they don't know when they're going to open yet.
Now, to put things in perspective, of the nearly $4 million received, more than half of it has been spent so far on salaries and employee training. We did check with the federal agency in Washington that awarded this grant to see if they were concerned by what we uncovered. The Administration for Children and Families, though, told us they were not.
Really frustrating for families waiting, right?
Who've been waiting.
So
yes.
when will the centers be open? Do we know?
Well, we are told that the goal is by the end of next month. In the meantime, the teachers in just the last couple of weeks have started at least making visits to the homes once
Right.
a week.
Okay, we'll keep following it. Jennifer, thanks.